Hi friends, I'm Prairie Vintage. My name's Linda. I'm an energy intuitive reader here on YouTube. I use spirits, my intuition, the tarot to communicate energies to you guys, amazing viewers. If you're new to this channel, welcome. I'm so blessed you found me. I hope you stay. And for those of you guys returning, I'm so grateful, so blessed, and I can't wait to do your reading again. See what the messages pull through here. So I started recording this intro and then I got a massive download in regards to the reading that we're about to do, and I do feel it is applicable for all four piles. So what I'm getting here is this message in regards to the reading that we're going to get is the person on your mind who you came here about, and what it is that they have not yet been able to express to you, because this person has a difficult time potentially understanding it fully, and so they'd rather just not express it or come forward to express it to you, or they can't make sense of it themselves and understand maybe on an intuitive level there's some challenge or something that they're potentially working through. But I don't feel this is some sort of secret thing that they're maliciously keeping from you, knowing the full extent as to, you know, what it is about, and just withholding it from you. Okay, there it goes very deep here, but I do feel like it is layered. So there might be aspects that this person understands on a conceptual level. You know, they understand it, they're conscious of it, and underneath that there's more to that sort of messaging that they don't understand, and so it's easier just to not unpack it or bring it forward. And so this is what we're going to look at. Okay, so I hope that made sense to you guys, beautiful people. We have 4 options to choose from today, and if you tap into your own energy, it's very, very common here, meaning it's something that you have not yet been able to work through with the person you came here about to express yourself, communicate it fully. And so this might be tapping into your own subconscious of things. Okay, so just keep an open mind as to where this energy is coming from within your energy field. Your person, a blend, that's up to you. Don't force it to fit. It should resonate. You should understand it. Okay, it's not because you click that pile that is your message. It's you click on a pile and see, does this resonate? Okay, until we really understand our intuition, we have troubles with this. Okay, I want to make that clear, because I don't want people thinking I'm predicting. You know, I'm not doing any prediction here. I'm just tapping into energy frequency, telling you what you're mirroring here in your intuition. Okay, that's how it pulls through here. So if you're clicked into a different sort of pile, it's just me communicating someone else's world, not your world. That doesn't do you any good. Okay, beautiful angels. Now I'm getting throat chakra tingles. This reading is so interesting. I'm gonna stop and re-record. Okay, beautiful angels. My throat chakra is gone. I'm gonna hold these up, and you guys will sit with your intuition. Interesting, we're doing a reading about what they're not telling you, and my throat chakra goes and completely closes. Option 3. 1, 2, 3, and then option 4. Okay, sit with this energy. It's okay if you second guess. There might be multiple piles. Could be someone else pulling through as well. You're not limited to just one energy. Okay, beautiful people. I'll put the timestamp in the description box and in the pinned comment below. I'll take you directly to your pick. I'm going to get some water and we will do this reading. I'll see you there. Hello, gorgeous angels. Pile number 1. You guys picked the Wild Unknown Tarot for your pick. So I encourage you to listen to the intro message in regards to what this is about. We're tapping into the person on your mind and the connection you came here about, and what it is that this person has not yet been able to communicate to you. And so it is very layered. I don't feel this is like a full known secret that they're hiding from you, so much as this person has something that hasn't been expressed to you for whatever reason. And we're looking at like what that reasoning looks like and making sense of it potentially for this person, because this person, I feel, if they were capable of understanding the full depths of what was going on, I feel this person would most likely express this to you. Okay, so we're looking at what it is that they have not yet been able to communicate to you, and why, like what's going on with this thing that they're not able to express. Okay, so like I said in the intro, this could be your own energy and something in your own subconscious that's sort of trapped or that you haven't made sense of yet. And so if it sort of sounds like something you're experiencing, then this message certainly can be for you. But when we hear the message and it's from the subconscious, we might not be conscious of the full depths. And so we won't know if it slaps us in the face fully because it's in the shadow. Okay, so let's keep an open energy here. Although if you have no idea what this is talking about, it's not your pile. Okay, don't force it to fit. And we'll see what it is exactly that pile number one's person they came here about has not yet been able to express, or has been incapable of communicating this circumstance that's going on within their world. Spirit, clear and concise message for the greatest and highest good of beautiful pile one, the person they came here about. What is it that pile one's person has not yet been able to communicate or express to pile one? Please protect me and the viewer as I channel this message for the greatest and highest good of pile one, the person they came here about. Thank you so much, pile one, for allowing me to tap into your energy, the energy around you at this time. I'm so blessed to be here. Thank you so much. I do feel this is like that. Okie dokie. So let's pull some oracles as well. Let's see what Spirit wants to pull through. I feel another one of these. What is it that pile one's person has not yet been able to express, communicate to pile one? Now, like I mentioned, this might be very layered here, okay? So I'm going to try to bring it back to practical terms for those of you guys who are a little more conceptual than you are sort of, you know, in this sort of more ethereal space of spirituality and subconscious and egos and all that stuff. Although that's what a spirit is. It's not a 3D energy, okay? It's not even in the subtle plane. And this is like a great causal plane coming from straight from the divine. Okay, so this is going to be a feeling more than a knowing. Okay, we have to sort of leave check our mind, our knowing, or the mind's knowing. I know the difference between the mind knowing, because the mind could never really know. The mind just perceives. Okay, that means the mind is a small part of us that perceives something. It understands something, or it thinks it understands it. So then, therefore, it thinks it knows something. But the mind could never know. Okay, and this is why we check the mind at the door and lean into our heart. But the heart might feel distorted if it's not cleared of blocks. So we can't always rely on our feeling up front unless we've done some clearing of our energy. Then the heart space is open, and the knowing is the intuition, and then that is the knowing. That's connected straight to the divine and spirit. Okay, so if our chakras are all distorted, or we have traumas and blocks, then we can't lean to our intuition. We don't know. So we use our mind. And a lot of us use our mind because we've always done so. So it's like a muscle. We default to the understanding of concept. I felt I needed to explain this to you guys. Okay, so I feel this one's wanting to pop out. Let's look. What is it exactly that this person has not yet been able to communicate? Linda, get on with it. So it says, welcome home, 1111, mission accomplished with the swan. Wow. Holy camole. 1111, mission accomplished. Okay. Yikes. 1111 is my twin flame number. Okay. When I whole 1111 and the Four of Wands, or just this synchronicity, this angel number, could be indicating that type of soul connection. Swans also, to me, signify twin flames. There's only one wand here. And the welcome home could mean the clearing of the chakras. So now we have connected to a part of self. Mystical messages, follow the signs, 7-7. So signs are what? Synchronicities, angel numbers, dreams, being guided home, mystical messages. Wow. Breakthrough, processing karmic debris. Yeah, so maybe that's why my tangent at the beginning of this was all about clearing blocks and chakras. That's what this whole thing is, processing karmic debris. So when we have karma, there's energy that needs to be flushed through. Okay, and we could create new sort of karma and keep on that hamster wheel unless we deal with the karmas that's going on in a way here that we could have a breakthrough to release certain things, overcome certain challenges that we close the door to. And so we close out karmas, we release karmas. Okay, and then we return home because we're never really lost. We're just undoing some of the blocks. I don't know how this is tying in, but this might be your own energy. Let's see. Uranus, Neptune. So I do like reading from the book for this pack because it's very short and it sort of has the different graduated layers of ascension when it comes to the energy that the card is communicating, and you'll see what I mean by that. So in its more primitive state, this energy says you are lost in your own grandiose bubble of unreality and self-importance. So nobody wants to be narcissist, right? Nobody wants to be in an energy that is challenging unless they're living in fantasy or illusion. Okay, so this is talking about somebody really sort of lost in mind space, that they're out of reality. Okay, in the primitive. Okay, adaptive. So now they've cleared some blocks, some traumas. You serve the collective with your unique spiritual and extraordinary perspective. So you still maintain a perspective. So that's still not reality, because a perspective could never be true, capital T. Okay, to the absolute truth. It's always our perspective. And the perspective is always skewed because it's a filter or a lens of our experience. Our experience is subjective. Our traumas make us react in certain ways. Our conditioning make us react and see things in certain ways. That's our perspective. It's always tainted. Okay, our perspective is always tainted by our own conditioning. That is not reality. So you serve the collective with your unique spiritual and extraordinary perspective. So now it's for the positive. Now, instead of me using my filter for getting lost in my own self-importance, I'm now serving the collective, still in my fantasy. Okay? So not one's good, one's bad. It's just how are we utilizing this energy of perspective? You know, same could be said for when we experience something. Let's say we have two twins. I'm not talking about twin flames. I'm talking about like two siblings, you know, and they're raised by the same family, same experiences, pretty much, same school, same upbringing, same town, same sort of thing. Okay, both, let's say, abused. One might have the complete opposite reaction than the other. And both have the same conditioning. Both most likely have very similar genetics. Okay, but how do they utilize that energy of understanding? One maybe abuses their own family or goes down the path of addiction and abuse. The other one maybe ends up cleaning their life and finding value in that. But it's still two perspectives that are not in reality. It's driven from the conditioning. I would have never strived to clean up and rule the world in a way here that is honorable had I not experienced what I did. Maybe I'd not be driven the way that I was, you know, I as in this twin over here. And then this twin, maybe I would never be an alcoholic or an addict or an abuser had I not experienced what I did. But thus, experiencing what I did made me go down this path. Two different paths, still twisted, still not real. And when I say real, it's obviously real in the 3D, but it's not aligned with reality, you know, because it's based on an illusion of our understanding of something. And then understanding you can't grasp. It's an illusion. You can't touch conditioning. You can act on it, you know, and so that tie to the action itself is the ego, is the perception, is the understanding that needs to have a breakthrough so we could be an observer that is looking at this from the outside, to look at what it is that I'm thinking, doing in my world that is programmed from conditioning. Okay, now evolving. You weave a tapestry of meaning and inspiration. Wherever you go, people are blown away by your intuition and your kindness. So at the beginning, we were talking about the intuition. And so the intuition is clear of debris. Okay, it's clear of traumas and conditioning. The third eye, when we have third eye experience, it sees the truth, like capital T. It doesn't see with the filtration of the conditioning. And that's our intuition, you know, our psychic ability connected to the divine. And that's where real truth and reality sits. So are we, you know, where are we sort of in this spectrum? And we know when we get to the last state here, we're really tapped into the divine. We've removed debris. We're seeing very clearly because there's nothing sort of steering us based on the conditioning. It's more of the divine is showing us clear, pure reality, not tainted by anything. And then we're able to make decisions with the heart and the intuition, not justifying it with our mind, but just with feels. Feel good, feel bad. Okay, but when we try doing the feels with debris, it's like, this feels bad. I'm in the victim. So I'm going to constantly say, well, I'm acting in my feeling, but it's like, yeah, but you're pulling the feeling, not from the divine. Your feeling is pulled from the conditioning. But when we work through debris, then we're tapped into the feeling. And the heart knows yes, no. Okay, the heart just knows yes, no. And it doesn't mean no as in be mean and shut out. The heart's always open. But the no is, this doesn't feel loving. So it knows it's not loving. And it knows when it is loving to do that thing or to say that thing or to flow in that way. Okay, so the heart's open and it knows yes, no, and it doesn't justify or try to rationalize itself. I don't know, I'm giving you this whole thing, okay? This whole thing is coming through. I mean, these readings would be interesting, but this might be just whoever's here is hearing this. Yeah, look, oil of vitriol. So the lion and the sun, you know, we say things, we do things, and look how charged this is, okay? So it's very reactionary. I say things, I do things, but it's like a trigger response. Probably so close to it that I don't realize I'm responding from the debris, from the conditioning, from my trauma and my perspective. I think it's real. I think it's true. But I can't see, you know, I can't see. So I'm saying things here. Okay, and this could be your person. I don't know. Let's keep going. The red and white rose. I feel like reading this one as well. So let's take a look at this purity that's sort of being potentially contaminated here. The red and white rose. Okay. I'll put timestamps here as well because I think, I don't know if all of you guys want to sit throughout this. I have no idea, and I really just am reading what I'm seeing. Okay, so what do we have here? Oh yeah, it's over here. Okay, the vital force arising, awakening, In the laboratory, the merging of the red and white is an exquisite moment. It means something is coming to life before the alchemist's eyes. The pristine white, the purity, okay? White of the rose is not threatened by the blood and the red pigment. Their mixing does not make pink. Rather, each color remains vibrantly itself, expressing its message, like the rod of the Asclepius representing health and vitality. The flos sapientum, appears to signify the awakening of the physical as a gateway to the spiritual. Without the body, spiritual teachings remain conceptual, not yet integrated into the everyday. This card encourages the alchemist to honor the body as a temple each and every day, observing it, listening to it, mining it for information and guidance. At its height, this card signifies a mastery, a uniting of body to serve the soul's purpose, as seen in the like of dancers, athletes, and during the birth process. White rose becoming red. Okie dokie. So, white rose becoming red. The white rose doesn't become pink. This is finding spirituality in a way here that really sees through the illusion. Okay, and the illusion was the perception. And so we could see this part, you know, the part that was in program. Okay, let's keep going. This is such an interesting reading. So we have the Temperance, Sagittarius energy. This is all about healing, balance, being able to balance ourselves through integration of what we have to work with, so we can find a balanced state, not to be too much, you know, maybe mind over spirit, maybe not be too much in the 5D, but to be in body. We need to find more of a balanced sort of ingredient here to create something, but it also allows us to be in a balanced state so we can work and create in our environment. Okay, but it is certainly about healing. Sagittarius energy. 10 cups. Holy camole. And there we have the Son of Wands, which is the Knight of Wands. And we have the Mother of Swords, which is the Queen of Swords. Gemini, Libra, Aquarius. This is about the mind. So it's really pulling through is like the mind can get us to act out our desires or passions, but unless we heal the mind, and that's kind of a misnomer, there's nothing to heal in the mind so much as to see the illusion, but we transform and we shed the old way of doing it, you know, the conditioned way of doing it. So now I'm a more healed version of myself because I shed the part of me that was very attached to my way of engaging, because I'm now in observer mode. I now understand mind. And so this is sideways. So I feel we're going through this sort of shift so that we can find happiness here. And this is about a partnership, you know, because it's two families coming together, or two people to create a family for the long term, ultimate happiness and commitment. Yeah, coming together to work together, coming together to create balance and work together. Okay, this is creation of you and that person or your environment, whatever it is, to create the thing that works. But here we have the big old obstacle with the mountain. And what is the obstacle? And the obstacle is one sometimes that seems like we can't move it, or it seems very fixed. And so is the mountain there real? You know, is the mountain there real? I think we're identifying that there is no mountain. And we're in the process of identifying there is no mountain. 5 swords in the reverse. And look at the earthworm that's cut in half. So the earthworm regenerates. It regenerates kind of like the snake when it sheds its skin. There's like a rebirth. The snake regenerates, or the snake, the worm. Some truth here. The swords are all sort of sideways, so we're still embracing some greater truth that hasn't yet been made fully clear, you know, which is leaving two people in two swords. You and your person in two swords. And two swords is that indecision, you know, that need for balance, but not stuckness. Someone's getting unstuck here. Wow, okay. The Magician in reverse. So this is all about creating the thing, like I said, or the synergy to create. This is to be able to manifest, to have what it takes to manifest. We need to understand the truth and work with the reality of the universe in order to manifest the thing we want. Otherwise, we manifest what we don't want without realizing it, because what we're manifesting is really using the energy. Whether we're aware of how we're doing it or not is the question here, and I don't know that we were fully aware. There's the Tower in reverse, and here's the Emperor. Aries energy, Virgo, Gemini energy, Sagittarius energy, Gemini, Libra, Aquarius energy. And we even have more Aquarius here with this Tower. So the Emperor is about getting empowered. You know, empowered to take action, to find the courage to do what it is that they're feeling called to do, but it's not, you know, sort of a reactionary thing. Okay, Two Pentacles, and twos are all about balance, duality, choices. Butterflies about the transformation. I'm feeling some Scorpio as well. Okay, let me sit here with this energy, you guys. I have no idea. I wasn't expecting to see any of this stuff. I always say this because Spirit just always does this. No, I don't want this one. Let me tap into what it is that this person, which could certainly be you, has not yet been able to communicate. Okay, this is such an interesting message, and I apologize how it came out. I certainly am not doing any clickbait stuff here, okay? I got to read the energy as I see the energy. I think this is a message from Spirit to you is what I think, but it doesn't matter what I think. I'm just going to read this messaging to you. You have someone you want to work with. I feel is this Emperor. Okay, someone in your world, probably the person you came here about. Now my throat chakra's closing again. So sorry. So this Emperor you want to work with, Spirit is really showing there's an ability here to work together. I think you have to come into balance within yourself. Okay, everything is energy, and energy is all interconnected. And so we are creating what's going on in our world. And so I feel there's a very strong tie with you and this person, that your energy is so powerful that if you're not aware of how you're engaging with your energy and your relationship with your own energy, and how you tie back to your mind, how you tie back to spirit, how you engage within self and your world, is really going to impact whether you and this person can work together, which I think you want, but I don't think you've been able to create with this person. So this is something within you that has not yet been coming out of you in a way here that allows there to be healing in this connection. Okay, and I'm not saying you did something bad. I'm not saying that this person doesn't have things they need to do as well. I'm saying the universe here is only showing to me that you and this person have something you're supposed to be working together with. It's true. And I think you feel this intuitively. I think you know this. But why is it not happening? And why it's not happening is Spirit is saying you can attain happiness here, can attain balance here once you recognize and work with your own energy. Because this experience is one with this person in order for you to release blocks, perceptions, and all that stuff I was talking about. And let me explain this in a different way here. We're not broken. There's nothing really to heal. The only thing that we do is we observe how we engage with our trauma, how the trauma is controlling us. And what I mean by that is based on my conditioning, everything that's happened to me, I say certain things and do certain things. Am I aware of this? Am I truly aware of this? That because of how I'm thinking right now, how I engage right now with this person has everything to do with my beliefs and how I was brought up and certain ideas I'm carrying in my mind about what's right and what's wrong, judgment. I have to look at these from a perspective of someone that's not in my life. And how do I do that? Because I'm inside my own body, is know that I'm not the mind. I'm not the conditioning. I'm not those beliefs. I just, up until today, told myself or believed that I was. I'm not. And so that's what's coming back to home, is within me always exists the healed version. There's nothing to heal. I'm whole and complete. My energy is beautiful light. It's contaminated with particulates of experiences right now that I just need to recognize are there. And once I recognize, now I see two selves, my true self and the self that's been acting out of mind or thought it was the mind, thought it was its trauma or its trigger, or thought it was its beliefs, thought it was its opinions. So if you're very opinionated, if you have a lot of ideas and opinions, you're still here. Are you aware of this? I think you're going to become very aware that you're not. So we have a lot of sign, symbol, synchronicities, dreams. Why? Because the intuition is really wanting to pull through here. You're becoming more spiritual. You're coming out of body, meaning you're not identified with the body, with the 3D. You're not your body. You're not your mind. You're not. You're a spiritual being. You're more than the body. You're a light being. You're spiritual. The divine understands this because you have a beautiful light within you that is not at all impacted by your physical body. Okay? And so the body can die and our energy lives forever. We are one with the Creator. And so what does this mean? This means that the body is just happening in this time space, just like everybody else. It's a transient energy. The body, it's born and then it dies. It's not permanent. It's not infinite. It's finite. And you're not the body. You're infinite, just like the universe, just like God, okay? But you can only connect to that when you connect to the divine. And so the two selves I talk about is the self that's now seeing how you have been or what's been driving you. And the other part of you that's pure that says, wow, there's actually this part within me that I'm finally connecting to. And so the 3 levels I read here when I did the card layout, it doesn't matter if you think you're acting towards the good or acting towards the bad. That's not the point. The point is, are you completely neutral observing yourself and your energy so that you are tapped into the divine so you can respond out of intuition and heart? Because up until now, I think you've been responding and reacting out of mind. And so just being aware of this, okay, and it's not our fault if we're not aware of this, we're just so close to the mind. That's the ego. And so it's creating conflict with you and this person. Your ego, spirit is showing here, okay, is getting in the way of you and this person. Good ego, bad ego, doesn't matter, okay? Doesn't matter what the ego was doing per se. It's the fact that the ego remains there. And the ego is, I was so identified thinking there was a me in here that didn't exist. It was a dream version of me. I was acting as that I was the person. You're not the person. You're just awareness, the being of awareness itself. Okay, the person's the conditioned thing. So I feel like we're seeing through this so that we can take different sort of action here with this person. So we can create and manifest different with this person based on truth and not on our own perception. So I think we're undoing a lot of what was keeping us personally, you know, in some state of fantasy or illusion or ego, whatever you want to call it. You know, it was keeping us from ourselves, from our true selves. So once we do this, we regenerate and we become balanced. And then because we are tied spiritually with this person, no doubt about it. I mean, we're all tied spiritually with everyone and everything, but I feel like you and this person share a same soul signature here that allows this connection, because I feel this person is your emperor, your divine masculine. Whether they're male or female doesn't necessarily matter so much as your divine masculine is waiting for you to balance yourself out. And he wouldn't tell you this, but that's what he's waiting for, because he's in 2 swords right now. And maybe you're too focused on the fact that he's 2 swords, he's 2 swords, he's 2 swords. So you're getting like this. That's that perception I was talking about. Doesn't matter if he's 2 swords, 3 swords, 10 swords, 1,000,000 swords. Don't matter. Doesn't matter if he's pooping, sleeping, swimming, jerking off. I don't care. What matters to me is, where's your energy at? Okay? And so I think what you want with this divine masculine is a 10 cups and a 3 pentacles, balance and harmony and healing. Okay? You want to create something in the 3D world and work together. And the big old mountain is yourself. And I feel like in order to come together, to work together, to find balance in something that might be turbulent right now, to transform this connection, we have to release the karmic debris. And the karmic debris forms within ourselves as certain things energetically that need to be resolved, released, identified, observed, held, witnessed, not shoved down, not dissociated with it. We recognize it. So this means feeling feelings, thinking thoughts if we have to, but we know we're not the thought. We're like, there I go, thinking the thoughts, thinking that I was the thinker of the thought, acting out a thought I thought I needed to do. Like, we're really sort of removed. None of that is you. And we see the karma in play. And so there might be inertia in the karma, meaning I'm still having the arguments, I'm still saying things I don't mean, or I'm still externally focused on him. But at least now I'm aware of this. You know, that's the first step, because the body is going to be sort of in motion because the universe has control. It gives the illusion that we're really in control. I'm lifting my hand up and down. See, I thought it, I did it. But it's like, no, the universe is really doing that. And it's giving you the illusion that you're the one sort of at the driver's helm. And when we really remove all of this debris and observe, we really connect with that. And we see, oh, I wasn't the doer. I just had the illusion that I was doing and having all this control. I was really more the prisoner of the mind. You know? So this is more talking about what's not seen and what's not communicated. Within you, there's something that isn't communicated because it's still trapped. Because the false self is still at the helm. The self that thinks it's the mind. The self that is still connected with the conditioning. The self that's, you know, whatever. Egoic, illusion, false self. A bunch of different names. I don't care what you call it. It's not the self that is observant and pure and back home here. And I feel like Spirit's really saying, you get balanced. You go home to self. One swan. When you are empowered, when you get balanced, when you come into union, then this person can work with you, because then the false self has fallen. The tower has fallen. Okay, the tower has fallen, meaning the false self falls, and then we're in reality. It doesn't matter how much in shambles things are at. The fact is now we have to deal in reality so that we can work towards building something. But if we're always in sort of this fantasy land, let's say, you know, of dealing with false self, the tower always remains, the ego always remains, and so we can't build on shaky ground. And so your person mirrors you. So I do feel your person's in 2 swords, which you were, but I think you're the first one getting out of it. Your person also needs to regenerate, aka heal, even though, like I said, they're already healed. They just need to recognize the truth so that they can act in truth, shed the false self. Be inspired to move. Then they manifest what they actually want, you know, because we're always manifesting. But are we manifesting our true heart's desire? like what the pure self and the true self wants? Most times, no. Because if we're in the mind, thinking what we don't have, focused on the thing that's lacking, then that's the thing we generate. So that's not what you want. I know you don't want that. But you say, well, I really want them. Why don't I manifest them? It's a real want. It's like, yeah, but it's not about what you want so much as it is the energy. And that's why I always talk about energy being like the driver with manifestation and even in soul connection. It's where is your energy? If we're feeling more of a reaction of trigger, resistance, loneliness, like I don't know, this feels to me like threatening energy, then what are we manifesting with this energy? This doesn't seem open, not angry, loving, forgiveness, kind, compassionate, right? This energy. And so I get it. If we don't feel those feelings, we can't just overnight have the good feelings, but at least let's recognize when we're in this. And we don't want to be like that. I don't think you want to be like this. So just being aware of it and shining your beautiful light on this will change this over time. That's the karmic debris. Now we're letting go. We might see ourselves, do this, and we just have enough of our ego. It's like, there I go again. Like, I see me doing this now, and I see it's not helping, or I see it's not even me. Like you don't even want to associate with the ego anymore. You separate yourself from this. It's almost like someone holding up a stinky garbage in front of you, I'm not calling you stinky garbage, but that attitude or that thing, it's like, ooh, I don't even associate with that egoic version of me. Ooh, get it away. But when we're so in it, it's like, like two kids arguing. Yeah, but he did that. Yeah, but didn't you see? He really did do that. It's like, yeah, no one's arguing about what he did do. It's like children, But children don't know. So this is like spiritual childhood. Thinking we're right and trying to prove it, because we're still in the mind. So we got to say, never mind what you think. Never mind what you think you want. Never mind thinking that you're right in how you're thinking or going about it. You're not. Because it's the mind. It's driven it's originating from the wrong place. And so since this is a soul connection, it must be pure from the soul. And that comes through from the heart, untainted. It doesn't have any conditioning. It is pure, and so it comes through you, through the heart and through the intuition. But if the intuition's all buggered up because of all these blocks, we aren't silent enough to tie to the intuition. So there's lots here that's of your true self that needs to come through to communicate to this person. The trueness of you, and I don't mean words so much as the communication of expressing your truest nature energetically. Your true nature energetically is like hidden amongst all the particles of debris right now of trauma and conditioning. That your person, because you guys are spiritually, communicating, they can feel that energy, that pull or whatever. But when they deal with you, you're all full of particulate, mind stories and all sorts of things that all of us are. You're not unique. But now it becomes, I need to just be aware of that so that I know that it's not helping when I manifest with this person. And so I learn through experience, and then I become very clear. And then my mind even becomes very clear, because the mind isn't the enemy so much as what's going on in the mind right now. It's running the show. The mind is doing and thinking certain things, and we think we're victim or prisoner to that mind. No, we're not. Let's stop the mind from going all crazy here, because the mind thinks it has control. It doesn't. Okay, so I think you see glimpses of it. I think we're changing this a little bit. Now we see a little, I kind of understand now a little. Great. Like, that's a hallelujah moment, And so the expression that needs to come forward as truth here that hasn't been communicated yet is your truest self, your true version, untainted with all of this drama and particulate, because once we see through this illusion, we know it never existed in the first place. So it's not like that healing needs to, I don't know, like we still don't give it life, We still don't say, yeah, that's still a part of me there that no, it's not a part. It never was a part of you. It was something that happened in passing experience, but the past no longer exists. It's just a memory. The only thing that keeps it alive is your connection to it. It's done. The only thing that exists right now is this present moment. None of what's happened in the past has any bearing on you right now. None of it. It's an illusion. But the karma here isn't me having to go back to all those traumas and things to let it go and forgive it and let the dust settle. No, it's, I know that the past now, I can see how I identified as me being that player in the game of Monopoly. I'm not the player, nor am I the game of the Monopoly, but I am just watching. You know, I'm watching the little chess piece or whatever move through the game board. But I thought I was the chess piece. You know, like every day that's gone on, I thought I was the little piece that was moving on the board. No, I'm seeing now. You know, I'm seeing that I was in the game, and the game didn't even exist. There's such freedom here. I know this is very layered, very woo-woo, very esoteric. That's how it is here. Okay, because you're coming into some spiritual awareness of who you truly are. That isn't full of all that stuff. And so then we manifest and work together and we come into balance and have more progress with the divine masculine. Now, that doesn't mean we ride off into the sunset forever. It means there's a potential here to work together, to come into balance and to heal. And we're stunted or stopped here because the ball's in your court to do this. And then we move forward in this arrangement, you know? And then this person starts to have hallelujah moments, and you do, because I feel you're leading this thing. So if they're stuck, if they don't know about you, or if you think, well, they're just wishy-washy or burying their head in the sand, or they're not taking action, or they, yeah, they're not, because you're not, and it doesn't matter what they do, like I said. So now I'm repeating myself, but this is your messaging, okay? So it's trying to get you to see things different in your own world so that you can find harmony here, at least start moving the needle again with this person, you know. But I feel there's certain things that still need to happen here, because just because now we see this doesn't mean it's the magic wand. It's like, okay, at least it's the first step, great, but now let's be patient. Okay, let's try to always remain balanced. Let's try to always see when we're back in perception and trigger mode, and observe it and not beat ourselves up about it. Let the tower fall piece by piece by piece. So then we can rebuild, which also takes time. So not only does the tower need to deconstruct, you know, and sometimes just seeing through the illusion once is enough. I don't know. Sometimes we have to get glimpses of seeing through the illusion. Then, oh, there goes the mind again. I thought I was the I thought I was the person playing the Monopoly, or in the Monopoly game. You're not. You know, and so, but sometimes once you get it, you get it. It's not years and years of meditating and traumas and crying and, you know, mother wounds that you need to pay your counselor or therapist. No, none of that. Okay, so beautiful people, I hope this resonated and you'll kind of understand what's going on here. Okay, I think your person is probably in another pile, maybe, because this really feels like your energy, or at least this is how it's coming out. Okay, someone here is cracking through their false self. And so this is why it's very pulled, you know, why you're getting dreams, and why your intuition is very strong, and why this person, why. It's a karmic thing that wants to pull through. And if you're very clueless or think you're the body, it needs to pull through in different ways to get your attention. I will show you signs. I will give you dreams. I will keep repeating certain things, animals, situations, until you wake up, you know. Now you're in your spirit, in your body, and now you got to find balance, because we don't want to be all spiritually off in some la 5D place, and we also don't want to be identify with the body, because we're not, you know, we're not just this 5D self that's floating out. We have to engage in this 3D world, but we're also not identified with the body. That creates the suffering. You're more than that. You're a spiritual, beautiful being. You have a pureness behind all the things that you've experienced and your thoughts of who you think you are. You're none of those things. Okay, and it's freeing, because it's not exhausting. It's so light and free. It's beautiful. It's graceful. You know, it's not heavy. It's not tragic. It doesn't feel like you got to keep up or put up a show or be something. You don't got to be anything at all. It's so beautiful. You know, now your divine masculine sees you, and that's what your divine masculine's attracted to. You just get scared by all of your particulate, you know. So, angels, I love you. I hope this made sense to you. And now I'm gone for sure. Okay, bye. Hello, gorgeous angels. Pile number 2, Healing Light Tarot. Group, what are we looking at? we're looking at person on your mind, person you came here about. Could be your energy if it comes out that way. I can't help it. But what it is what is it that this person has not yet been able to express to you? And like I mentioned in the intro, I don't feel it's something that they're just being malicious, trying to hide a big secret from you because they understand it fully as something that would hurt you. So therefore, I just don't tell you. More so as something that hasn't been expressed because they might, on a conscious level, understand some of it, but not to the complete depths of it. So it's difficult to express to you this thing, whatever this thing is. And so you're in the dark about this, you know, in the 3D world. Maybe intuitively, you know. And I think intuitively, we're, you know, those of you guys who are here are spiritual beings. You're probably tapped in, and so this is why you're here. It's like, I know there's something here, but why is it that this person has not yet been able to express or show or confirm or validate or give some sort of 3D understanding here to what it is that's going on? And so we're going to look at this, okay? So I have a feeling it's going to be fairly layered, and like I mentioned in the other group, sometimes subconscious things, when it's our own, it's in the subconscious, so we don't recognize it. So we pass over it, not thinking or identifying, knowing that it's part of sort of an energy that's going on within us, okay? So just be open. Subconscious things are in the shadow for a reason. But if it resonates with a knowing inside of you, then this is your pile, okay? And that's specifically if it's your own energy pulling through. All right, but really we're trying to tap into your person, and you might be more tuned into this person's subconscious than themselves. I don't know. Maybe you're not intuitive, you know, and maybe that's why you come to these readings. But either way, this should be something resonating for you, okay? It should resonate with the energy you're feeling. So always trust yourself over any tarot reader, whatever's going on, okay? So clear and concise message for the greatest and highest good. Pile number 2, person on their mind. And what is it that pile 2's person has not yet been able to communicate to pile 2, express to pile 2? Clear and concise message for the greatest and highest good. Spirit, please protect me and the viewer as I channel this message. Please protect this connection and help me to channel this message for pile number 2. Thank you so much. And I do feel it's this way. And thank you so much, pile number 2, for allowing me to tap into your energy, the energy around you at this time. I'm so blessed to be here. So grateful to be doing your reading today. What is it that pile 2's person on their mind, has not been able to express, communicate, share with pile number 2? Another, 3, okay. One of these. Pile number 2's connection, person they came here about. Feel another one. Okay. What is it pile 2's person has not yet been able to communicate? Okie dokie. So when we say communicate, it could come through as any sort of form of expression, okay? Doesn't mean words, articulating. Could be. It could be just validating or supporting with energy, you know, confirming with energy. It might be, you know, doing one thing, but feeling another. Saying one thing, doing another. There's something like this going on, okay? So we have the 9 cups at the bottom of the deck. I'm going to read bottom of the deck reverse. Under that we have 6 cups. That's the cups. Just heard 69, so Spirit has jokes, but maybe there's something very sexual here going on with this pile. But cups are all about emotions, but we have 69 here. 9 cups, emotional satisfaction. Let's take a look. She's pregnant. So what, do you have a child with this person? This is child. She's pregnant. 69 means there was some form of intimacy. Now, it could be symbolic, okay? It doesn't mean maybe you have had sexual intercourse with this person, although this keeps pulling through here. We'll see what more there is. Queen of Pentacles, Virgo, Taurus, Capricorn energy, Temperance, Sagittarius, healing, balance. Wow, okay. Eight Wands, communication, movement, forward movement, flow, breakthrough, energy. I'm getting sexual energy here. I'm seeing like I don't know, someone being inseminated here. Like two people creating a third thing here, like a child. This is just maybe even a message for one person. I don't know. Let's see, 5 Pentacles in reverse. It's coming out of the lack mindset, or coming out of the cold, or coming out of a period where we feel helpless, or like we cannot get what we want. Ace of Pentacles. So I'm getting the seed, you know, the egg. Reverse. Inseminating the egg. Spirits, I gotta understand what's going on here. 9 Pentacles. In reverse. And the Queen of Cups. Cancer, Scorpio, Pisces. Okay. So we have 1111 with compassion. That's what this is. Higher heart opening. Higher heart opening. I didn't know there was a lower heart and a higher heart. Higher states of consciousness is opening the heart. And I don't know what a higher heart is, but okay. 1111 is my twin flame signifier. So you might be resonating with a twin flame connection here. That's kind of interesting. Came out for pile 1 as well. Karmic purge, 6-6. Mirror reflections. Wow, lots came through about karma for pile 1 as well. Mirrored reflections. Sun splendor. This is the 10 cups. Utopian future here. Emotional happiness with another. Okay. And we have Mars, Jupiter. I'm going to read these because this gives good insight. So we have Mars, Jupiter, and we have Saturn, Chiron, and we have Venus, Venus. Wow, I'm getting sexual energy from that again. So let's just see. It's very quick here to give the energy of these cards. So 38 is, oh my goodness. Mars, Jupiter. In the primitive state, your inflated, exaggerated behaviors just disrupt and interrupt others' calm harmony. Adaptive, your behaviors create gateways and openings for others' power of assertion. Power of assertion. You promote collective activities where people can seek meaning together. And in its evolving state, your leadership accomplishes incredible ends, such as the building of canals. I'm seeing a canal. Oh, Spirit. Bridges, roads, or highways, or the fostering of spiritual movements that inspire the best in all who participate. Okie dokie. Let's look at Saturn, Chiron. Primitive state. You are sadistic to yourself and others, equating pain with some kind of pleasure. The wiring around this pattern is hard to change. Adaptive. You recognize that you have a great responsibility for your own healing, and that to help others, which you feel committed to, you must first do the work on yourself. That's a huge theme that keeps pulling through my channel. Evolving. You are an avatar of mature, thoughtful work that leads to great healing in yourself and others. People come to you for help because of your intense devotion to yourself and your healing techniques. Interesting, I use the Healing Light Tarot for this. Okay, now Venus, Venus. 29. In the primitive, you are overly preoccupied with your self-image. You might want to back off from the selfies. Adaptive, you embody compelling charm and substance. Your charisma is magnified. evolving. You are an avatar of gracious relating. Others bask in your beauty and diplomacy. Okay. Something very superficial is happening or has happened here. We're healing from this. Let me sit here with this energy, beautiful people, okay? Queen of Wands in reverse. Aries, Leo, Sagittarius. That's the mask. Okay. This kind of is reading coming out same as pile one. Not the same message, but in the same fashion. I think this message is for you, though. It is about the connection with you and this person. Now, you could flip-flop it all you want. If this message doesn't resonate for you, then it's not your pile. There's someone here that you experienced a soul connection with in the past here, okay? Soul recognition. I don't know if this is a soulmate, a karmic, it doesn't really matter, a twin flame even. All of these are pulling through here. There's something here with this person that's mirroring back to you, some sort of karmic thing that we have to sort of go through in order for us to be healed. And the healing is one of connecting to our heart space. And so we have to go through a process of experience in order to get there. And I don't know that it's been very pleasant. And so I feel like this person could certainly have done something. This is very superficial, okay? I feel for some of you guys, maybe there's something sexual here. This could certainly be the father of your child, okay? But for whatever has happened, it's not so much the point. The point here is that we have to overcome some lesson in this experience that we might not be wanting to engage just yet because we are still hanging on to wanting to be right or thinking we understand that the pain and the thing is real, okay? And so this doesn't mean that the action didn't happen, like this person. I'm not saying they didn't hurt you or do what they did. That is a fact. Whatever's happened did happen. But what is the illusion right now is the story and the identification of the attachment to that thing that happened. It's determining your state of being, and it doesn't have to. Something happened, that's true. And now my state of being is in my hands. I could choose to keep hanging on to the pain, talking about the pain, seeing the pain in a certain way, or I could see the thing that happened and see the real truth behind that it was something that happened. And now I can utilize this energy to seeing the reality that I could still overcome something here. And this doesn't mean suppressing it or denying it. I think the only way to get there is through the pain, feeling the pain, going the opposite way maybe that we don't want to. Maybe we're leaning so much into one sort of way of healing, and Spirit's saying, let's lean in the other way of healing. I don't know what that means. Maybe to you, maybe you've been trying the same things to heal, I don't know. Talking about it to everyone, going to therapy, getting readings. I don't know what you're doing. I feel like you want to be healing, but I think you're going about it in a way that's perpetuating something that isn't allowing you to have a breakthrough and come out of that feeling. The only thing that's going to get you to come out of this feeling is to open your heart space. And opening heart space means compassion and forgiveness, grace and love for you and this person and everything. How do we get there? It's not an overnight. So we have to go inwards. We have to really release a lot of what's happened to us. And how we do that is listen to the story we're telling ourselves about it. I feel like it's so deep because it might tie back to something of the childhood here that needs to be released. Okay, and so to tie back to the connection, I feel like you and this person are mirroring to each other. And so when you learn about opening your heart space, this person goes through their lessons of whatever they need to, because there's a mirror effect happening here and a soul connection. Okay, but I'm not too concerned with this person so much, but I feel like maybe this person here isn't available, you know, and you're depending on this person or an external thing here to make it feel okay or to make you feel better. And Spirit is saying you don't need to depend on anyone or anything outside of what's at hand in front of you right now, which is your own energy. That's the only thing that's going to get you out of here. Not a therapist, not a tarot reader, not your person being available, not them coming back saying sorry, not another new person that's going to make you feel better and forget the old one, not anything like this. You in your full power. You sitting with yourself until you see this is absolutely true. And we might sit there not knowing how to get there. And that's okay. But keep coming back to that core understanding that only through me will I overcome this. Only through me will I find healing. I got to come through a state of balance myself. Only through me do I find the empowerment here. Only through me will I find what it is that is going to free me from this. Only through me can I let go of this karmic pain. Only through me can I understand what has happened there in the past with this person and this situation in a way here that I can process, that frees me from the bondage of the pain, that heals me so I can create something. Because I feel like now Spirit says once that's done, then we have the breakthrough, then we create and manifest. And I feel like it could certainly be with this person if you know you have a soul tie, because some of you guys are soulmates, some of you guys are twin flames, some of you guys are just karmics. And when I say just karmics, we're all karmically involved, okay? It's not a just karmic. Everyone is karmic relationships, but a just karmic to me would be someone who came here to show us this lesson. Why? Because Spirit really wanted you to open your heart space to learn about forgiveness, compassion. But I feel like either which way, once we get that breakthrough, then someone becomes available. I don't know who the someone is, the soulmate, the twin flame, or just the someone you're meant to be with, the someone you're meant to create with, the someone that works with you well. You know, that's the breakthrough. That's what needs to be open like a cork. Like you give birth to this being that can manifest the thing. I feel like for a lot of you guys, I think there was sexual encounter here is kind of what I feel. You know, and I don't know, maybe you got pregnant, or just now you carry the karmic thing, or now you carry the burden, if you will, or the thing, you know. But there is no real burden here. This is a beauty thing of liberation. This is a mirror in front of you of how to heal. This is understanding about something within you that's now able to be expressed and seen once we tap into it. So we can find our true, you know, paradise here with another. But we have to be balanced beings, and we can't be seeking externally for it. And so I do feel like there is you being absolutely perfectly fine on your own here, you know, without anyone or anything, to be able to magnetize the right person. Because no, you don't deserve or have to be by yourself forever. It's just, I can be in a state that's emotionally okay, that isn't hurt or feel like a longing or a lacking or something. And like we can't stand on our own, you know, in that capacity. There's some understanding we have. So I feel like the compassion, the forgiveness, and the love comes from within towards self, and we work with this healing. But I feel like once it's true and authentic within us, it can't help but be mirrored back to the outside world. And so the energy is, again, what we talk about, and that's what needs to be expressed energetically back to this person or back to the universe so that a person can come forward. How do we get there? We have to be very honest with the energy. Where's my energy right now? Is my energy hurting? Because that's what I'm putting out there, mirroring out there, you know. But we don't just deny and say, okay, now I'm not hurting so that I can mirror the thing, because you're still feeling that way. So we have to unpack all those feelings. We have to really look at the truth of the thing, knowing that because I'm hurting is because something's going on within me. Because I'm still hurting, something still further is going on within me. Because I'm still hurting, something further is going on within me. And we keep, what further is going on here? What further is going on here? You know, but we have to be very still. So this comes through meditation, not making excuses, not externally focused on the out there, you know, like reading about this person, looking at their social media, going to tarot. Could be tarot that could help spark something, you know, maybe this sparks something, but it's really comes from within you, you know. And sometimes we hear something out there that's like, oh, but it still generates within you the healing or the understanding. So it has to be something unpacked from within you. So the message of you birthing something worthwhile here can come with someone who might not be available right now in the universe to you. They're not making themselves available. You can manifest it. You could create that thing. But I think you're carrying something here that needs to be expressed and let out here so you could find a state of balance and heal self. Find your emotional bliss here. You know, and this, again, like the child card, so it could be just confirming to you if you have a child with them, or a deep rooted childhood thingy is the reason why of this karmic. But you don't need to tap into that exact moment in time to understand so much as it is to flush it out of you, however it comes. Sometimes just recognizing it. Sometimes it's more, sometimes it's crying about it, and sometimes it's a past life thing that we don't even know what's happened, but it's trapped traumas and triggers here. So energetically we have to understand this, but I think it's tied very closely to the experience you had with this person, so it carries more weight to it. This is why I can't let go. This is why it's caused as much pain to me and suffering as it has, because it's pulling something from within my childhood here that's been carried within me that I need to offload here. Okay, but the main purpose of it all is to open the heart space, to show compassion, to be loving, to show forgiveness. And unless we're in this state, we're closed. Unless we're in this state, we can't have forward movement. Unless we're in this state, we can't break free from this thing, because that's what's going to mirror outside to the world, the you, and that's what's going to get you this beautiful sun splendor energy, you know, and get you outside of the victim mentality, feeling helpless or hopeless or dependent on someone else that's going to do or bring or love you in a way here that they can love you, but not in a way that you're needing in order to believe that's going to heal you or be something that you could sustain yourself on. No, because other people are other people. That's a tall order that someone's going to fill my hole, you know, well, sexual innuendo, but they're going to make me whole and complete. No, they're not. You know, no matter how wonderful a person could be, they can't fill that order. That's unrealistic. You're going to make yourself whole and complete and feel perfectly beautiful here. And then that other person is going to compliment you. You know, they're going to compliment you, and your light's going to shine beautiful from within. It doesn't only shine beautiful when you're with the person, but you have to come to balance with yourself. So this is sort of what needs to be expressed from within you as an energy of healing, as an energy that transmuted the pain that I was hanging on to, or the thing that I couldn't, you know, because we're still kind of superficially dealing with the situation here. Yeah, superficially dealing with something that needs to shed. And maybe you were the other woman, you know, or maybe this person had another woman. Like, I feel there could be the third party sort of thing here, a cheating or something, you know. And I don't know, like, these messages are really difficult for me to deliver, because it's like, I don't know, I've never been in this experience. I can say, oh, you know, like, but it's not even coming from me, you know. It's not even Linda's advice. And so sometimes I know I leave in the comments there, it's like nothing really to do with me. I don't know. I'm just reading the energy, and Spirit is showing this, you know. Spirit is showing this. This must be difficult. I don't know how I'd get there. That's me commenting this, you know. Like how do we get there, you know? Only you can. Only you can. I just know that it's very difficult for a lot of people who have one way of engaging. And I say one way that they've been accustomed to. When the mask falls, that I can speak to. Opening the heart space, it's a very lengthy sort of process, but it doesn't have to be, you know. It's only how identified we are with the story. But opening the heart space is like, whoa, like major revelation, you know. And then we can't stop. It's like we feel love for ourselves, love for everyone and everything. And this person is just you Have compassion. You see beyond what this person did. Like it doesn't even impact you at all. You get to that state. You get to that state. Like if you were on a mountain, you would get to that state within you. So know that you could be wherever you are getting to that state. It doesn't depend on an external thing in your world here that's going to get you there. It's not a place to get to so much as it is something to see within self. Maybe that's better to put it that way. Your beautiful heart is already there. Okay, but what we're seeing inside of ourselves is perpetuating the suffering. And so once we see that our heart space here can show compassion, that we can always choose the love and the compassion, we could choose the forgiveness right here, right now. We could choose it. The reason we don't choose it is because it's easier to go the other way, or it's familiar the other way, or it's conditioned the other way, or we might not even recognize we're just going the other way. We have the choice. That's freedom. I have the choice right now. I got to look at this, because the heart's way is better. Because does this feel good? No. And you might be trying to get to a place that feels good, thinking that that's going to be the thing that feels good. It's like, no, trust me, the thing that feels good is already there within you. It's choosing the heart. It's choosing that option. That feels way better than getting to, let's say this person says they're sorry and you're like, yeah, it still doesn't fulfill you. Because eventually they'll do something else. Or let's say eventually you'll meet someone else that does something else. It doesn't matter, and then you go through this again. But the heart way is better because you heal this thing within you, that it doesn't matter if someone's cheating, doing whatever. You just say, okay, not for me. Not for me. Doesn't mean it doesn't hurt, but we're not identified with it. It doesn't bring our whole world down. It's not this person and I'm uprooted and now I'm just totally in shambles, And I get it. I just said I never experienced it, but this is true in every aspect when it comes to spirituality. We're not identified with the trauma and the victim and the story. Nobody has pull over us. Someone could say anything at all, and it's like, okay, whoop-de-doo. It doesn't impact me and rock me to my core, because the core is solid, but if we're not connected to that core that is solid, we think we're the core that's wobbly. We think we're the core that's could be pulled at. We think we're that person that could, be blown over by someone else's actions, and you're not. So choose love, compassion, like within. Doesn't mean this person comes and we say, oh, I'm going to have to be nice to this person in this way. No, this means you'll generate this love organically from within. From honesty, not from suppression, not from just choosing love to say, like, I'm just choosing it because I'm choosing it. No, we gotta choose the path of love. Walk down that path first. Say, I'm not going to do the same thing that I did. How do I get to the path of love? What is the most loving thing right now that I can do? And it might not be saying, to this person, I forgive you. Maybe we're not there yet. But what is on that path? On that path is, today I'm not going to choose to output energy that that this person did wrong, because they really didn't do wrong. They're doing their life experience, their life journey. Whatever they were meant to do is what the universe is meant for this person to do. They did exactly as they should do for their life experience. So even that's choosing the path of love. Today I'm not outputting the negative thing that I always do, or the victim story that I always do. Good, we chose love in that moment. And then the next day, I'm going to sit here and maybe think about, okay, that person as a person rather than as the mean, I don't know, seeing past the mask or the incident. Okay, I could do that. I could sit 5 minutes and see this person as the person or the good thing. And the next day some more, and then the next day some more, or, see myself not as the victim, some more. So my heart opens and it's like, yeah, you know what? I'm not even upset. I just understand that something's happened here, but now I choose love. Okay, so this is your message, pile number 2. I hope this helped you. If this isn't sort of what you wanted to hear, then I apologize, but it came through this way. It's obviously resonating for you if you're still here. Your person's energy could certainly be in another pile, but I think the main concern here right now, I think, what you think is about getting or attaining or finding harmony with someone, and Spirit says you can. You haven't yet. because you're too dependent on that person or that situation to be in a certain way. And Spirit's saying, no, they won't. You got to be in a certain way. That's where your focus and your schooling is. Then someone you can manifest with, then they become available. Then things turn energetically. Okay? So I'll see you guys at the next one. Bye-bye. Hello, pile 3. I think I screwed up 2 and 3. I don't know what happened. And I honestly don't know what pile this was. I think this might have been 2. I'm going to call you 3 because I think I read 2 as 3. I don't know what's going on here. Today's funky tunky. Okay, so what are we looking at? We're looking at person on your mind. What it is that this person has not yet been able to express to you through way of either words, action, confirmation, energetically confirm, you know. And if you listen to the intro, like I mentioned, it's not that this person is trying to maliciously sort of keep vindictive secrets from you from not finding out, so that you know, they're hurting you or not hurting you. It's this person might not have a full understanding here. They might have some conscious awareness of something, maybe not feeling right, and so they might not be able to express what that is, because I feel there's something here about not understanding. So if we don't understand, how can we, you know, allow it to be expressed or seen or understood or communicated? We can't. You know, we could try, and maybe some people don't even bother trying. It's just like, if I don't even, you know how to do this justice, then I just don't even try. So this could be you. This could be your person. I don't know what we're going to see here, okay? We're going to see what Spirit wants to communicate to pile number 3. Like I said, I'm going to call you 3. If you want to go to 2, you can. And we're going to look at what it is that this person has not yet been able to express to pile number 3. Spirit, clear and concise message for the greatest and highest good. Please protect me and the viewer and this connection for the greatest and highest good of pile number 3. Thank you so much, Spirit, for this message. Thank you so much, pile number 3, for allowing me to tap into your energy, the energy around you at this time. I'm so blessed to be here doing your reading. What is it that pile 3's person has not yet been able to express, communicate to pile number 3 for whatever reason here, Spirit? We dive into this. So it could be a very layered message here, okay? Try to keep it simple, but I have a feeling when we deal with subconscious energies and this sort of thing, it sometimes comes through very layered. So I'll do my best to tie it into practical terms here for you. Beautiful pile number 3. What is it that pile 3's person hasn't been able to express, communicate, get pile 3 to understand about what's going on in them energetically? Thank you so much, Spirit. I do feel that these are way too many, but that is telling me that there's most likely more than one card here that will pull out. So if that wants to come through, it will. Spirit, clear and concise message here for pile number 3. Thank you so much. One more. Pile 3's person and what they have not yet communicated. And one of these. So the star revealed itself. And I feel one more. That's Aquarius energy. It's a long-term vision and hope, healing, destiny. Wow, okay. So the fact that it revealed itself, this is maybe something that is conscious, but it is major arcana, so it's not really a practical thing here, but maybe it ties to you in some way, like what is the future hope, or what does the distant future look like, you know, or what is the wish here? Is there a wish? Yeah, let's see. Sulfur. So the sulfur is talking about the geyser, and we use the sulfur to have a breakthrough of allowing it to flesh itself out. Sulfur 29, or the number 11. 11's been pulling through very strong here. 11's a master number. Divine inspiration, synchronicity, and the encouragement to keep going. Lightning. So we have the serpent, all about healing and shedding the old. Wisdom, there's the egg about the rebirth. Card 13's transformation. Lightning, could certainly be tower energy. Uranus, so more Aquarius. Sudden revelation. Sudden. It's a sudden thing. Maybe we're protecting something that we were trying to cultivate. And now there's a sudden thing. Okay. We have Sun and Pluto. Sudden realization of the dark shadow. What does that mean, Spirit? Whoa. Venus, Neptune. Let's read these as I did for the other two piles. And it's very brief, but it gives a good understanding of what these cards sort of sit energetically in 3 states. So in its primitive state, this card says, primitive, you are a lord of darkness. Oh my goodness, did we not just say from the darkness? You bring people into your lair to manipulate, torture, and harm them without a glimmer of conscience. Oh my goodness, that would be narcissism. In its adaptive state, you are aware that your personal power rests not in manipulating others for selfish purposes, but in your ability to channel divine grace and wisdom. You forego self-centered will to empower and direct your potency towards service and gratitude. Evolving, understanding that you are here as a flicker. Oh my goodness, I said a fickler. I don't know what that is, but it's making me laugh. Understand that you are here as a flicker, a temporary flame. You relinquish control. You surrender to being used by the divine to promote the transformation and well-being of others. Holy camole. What am I reading for? Venus and Neptune, 35. I'm curious to see which energy pulls through predominantly in this reading. So, primitive, you are highly deceitful con artist of love. Oh my goodness. Adaptive, you embody extraordinary compassion and love for your friends and family. Evolving, you are a creative source of divine love, a conductor of the heavenly spheres. Holy geez. So it's like these two really like polar opposite sort of energies. We could be narcissist and use it towards the path of service to self, or we could be in the complete opposite here and exposing with our love and light the path of service to others and being completely selfless. That is profound. And this is unblocking. I gotta read the sulfur one for you guys, though. I know you guys might not like the reading so much, but it's sometimes, no, not even that, helps us to put into context with the channeling when we hear certain phrases or words. And I feel like this might be putting something into context here. So we have sulfur, 29. Right here. Evaporation, up and out. Look, up and out. Dark lights. Up, out. Well, up would be down. Up and out. Up and out. Okay, both and. On an esoteric level, sulfur is the first of what is known in alchemy as tria prima, or the 3 primes, along with salt and mercury. It makes up a threefold phenomenon that symbolizes the unity of soul, sulfur, body, salt, and mind, mercury, soul, body, mind. On a tactile level, sulfur is responsible for both the off-putting smells and the therapeutic properties of the mineral bath. It soothes and it stinks literally. To understand sulfur is to embrace a both and mentality. Yeah, both and. Don't be discouraged if the meaning of this card seems to evaporate before your eyes. For now, keep in mind that what is gross content, oh my goodness, I cannot read. For now, keep in mind that what is gross contains beauty, and what is beautiful contains its own demise. Wow, so much is coming through here. This is too funny. Spirits. Sulfur's job is to push the geyser up and out, dissipating the pressure. Don't be surprised if what appears to be stuck or stinks and becomes a great gift. Go deeper. Visitor look up Sulphur Cauldron in Yellowstone National Park to ponder the red lion. Okay. What I'm getting, this is crazy. Last night, I know you guys don't want to hear these stories, but last night I was having profound spiritual experiences and inner knowings that I didn't even want to ruin, because I was going to write them down because they were so profound. And so the only word that keeps coming through is profound, of a knowing. And it wasn't how did I get there, it was just I just felt a knowing, you know. And what it was so paradoxical. It was so paradoxical, and it kept coming through this way all night because of this, which came through in one way. It created this, which was the opposite. Very paradoxical. So I'll give like an example. It's like, the best example I can give is, let's say in a marriage, there is one, right? But is two people. And these two people could be lost and not even know themselves and be together physically in the body, like one, but creating a one unity body, right? But two beings, but they might not know themselves. Okay, and what's paradoxical is when these people split, the one isn't there, or the one body that they're creating, and then they take time and they know themselves. So now they know themselves, and now they're in two, and they're not in one. But now they know themselves, and so they're stronger than unified in one body, or in coming together of two people who didn't know themselves. And so I was seeing the beauty in life that these two people then can come together, and either they're going to get along or they're not going to get along. And most likely they were together because they didn't know themselves, or now that they know themselves, they're better off being in two different sort of bodies and not creating the oneness. So I don't know if you understand that logic, but this is how my brain was going all night, thinking about, like, you know, when things are appearing in one state as merge but not two, and like what was the energy behind that, and everything was so layered. So let's get back to your reading, but I do feel this is sort of tying back into this whole thing. Lightning, sudden, you know, something doesn't feel good, something seems in one state. Reprogram your soul, release, raise, reclaim. 5-5. Unification, aligning with abundance. 9-9. Unification. So look at this. Release, and this is paradoxical too, and then unification come together. You know? I'm getting like polar opposites here. The Star. 7 Swords. Healing and hope. Deceptiveness. I get around and around here. Is there some sort of pattern, cyclical pattern? Page of Swords, not communicating, not understanding. Someone may be being immature or acting in a certain way. Oh my goodness. King of Cups, emotionally unavailable. Cancer, Scorpio, Pisces. Someone not expressing how they feel. Obviously, you had a reading about this, but I mean, this didn't come through for any of the other piles in this way. Expressing their emotions, or the depth of their emotions, or understanding their emotions. So putting on some sort of show. Or being mean about it, or I don't know, like it's hurtful here. Oh my goodness. 2 Pentacles in reverse. The Emperor in reverse, Aries. So Emperor in reverse in the shadow. This doesn't feel good. You know, Emperor in reverse. So there's many Emperor in reverse sort of shadow. And it could be very much in the one state of the dark shadow, which is arrogant and controlling, manipulative, you know. And like I say, I never use the word narcissistic, but I'm just using the archetype here. But also the Emperor could be, you know, lacking self-confidence, like in the reverse, kind of weak, fearful, cowardly, like I don't know which Emperor we're tapped into here, but there's something here. Why? Judgment in reverse. Not seeing or understanding. I'm seeing the sulfur too, because the breakthrough moment is the judgment, the rising, the awakening, the release. 5 Pentacles. What's under 5 Pentacles? 2 Cups in reverse. What's under that? Death. Scorpio in reverse. Okay, I'm going to read this. I do have to take my sweater off because I'm really hot. Okay, I'll be right back. I don't know if I have to do more tarot for you guys after this, because I feel like we're only getting a partial story. It's frustrating for me here, but I'm going to do my best to read it, okay? I feel like this energy of this person that I'm reading here, your person, is coming through as a reverse Emperor. And like I mentioned, I don't know if it's more on the hurtful type. You know, they're both hurtful. I don't know the right words. This is so difficult for me to communicate. You know, if someone's lacking self-confidence, is a little cowardly, like that can hurt us, but I don't know. That's one scale, but then the other is like somebody who's outwardly very hurtful by what they say and do because they're controlling and in some sort of energy that is, I would think, more hurtful to us. So maybe there's a variety of you guys coming through here or dealing with a reverse Emperor. And so what Spirit is showing is that this reverse Emperor is going through some sort of a transformation, like an ego death of sorts, which I feel they've been fighting off, or being in the victim mentality, so leaning more into the reverse Emperor shadow. Okay, the archetype of the reverse Emperor. So whatever their downfall is, I say downfall, whatever the thing is that they're used to, you know, if it was low self-confidence, and that's the thing that they're having a hard time transmuting or moving past, and staying in the victim mentality of that's who I am, you know. Or if they're a narcissist, like I'm in control, and that's who they are, and that's who they stick to. It keeps them in the 5 Pentacles, and it keeps this connection in a 2 Cups in reverse, which is not equal, you know. And when I say equal, it's like I show you value and give to you emotionally, and I'm open, and you just take. That's the type of the thing that's happening here when I say 2 Cups in reverse. It could be a separation, could be just not coming together, but it could be we're together and one person is in one energy and the other is in a complete different energy here. Why? Is because he's in a reverse Emperor. He's learning about transformation and releasing certain parts of self. Because I feel like this Emperor hasn't seen or understood the full scope of something, of needing to be broken free, which is the great truth. And so at this point of revelation, we have a choice. You know, at that point, we have a choice. But until we're at that point, we don't have a choice. Okay, this message is now coming through. Thank you, Spirit. I thought I was going crazy. There's always a choice. But when we're so close to our nature through acting out subconsciously, we don't see the choice in front of us. So we keep acting out the same way we are. You know, thinking we're in control. Thinking, yeah, I'm choosing this choice. I'm in control. I'm the one that's being like this because I choose it. No. When we're very aware and we're more in a higher state of consciousness, meaning we can see ourselves as an observer, we then say, right now I could choose to be controlling and just railroad this person, make them, you know, like sexually please me or have my way or be like a stubborn baby, whatever the thing. But now I can see it, and now I can choose whether I want to continue doing that, or I could choose to be honest here and see that I've maybe can bring some value to this person. Maybe I could give to this person. Maybe I could express to this person. But until I have that revelation, I'm going to continue in the way that I've always been continuing. And so Spirit is showing you this person's continuing the way they continue because they don't see themselves yet. This is what they need to transform. And this is shedding an old way of being, but the only time we release it, we have to become very aware of it and see ourselves, maybe for the very first time, so we could be reborn and shed the old. And right now this person is most likely protecting this identity, you know, because when we're in this state, we protect ourselves because that's what the ego does. It wants to protect itself. And so any situation that happens that might put you, this person, at risk, the ego will respond in the way that it always does and say, this is a risk to you. Okay, now, in this day and age, risks aren't, you know, like saber-toothed tigers and like crazy wild animals coming to eat you. And so the ego served a purpose in this way. It's keeping you safe. So it must react. But this day and age, you know, we've evolved from that. So what's this ego doing? Emotional safety. So I react this way because my ego is protecting my emotional state of being. And so therefore I'm comfortable with not expressing how I feel, not talking about my emotions. Although I am someone capable of loving deeply and feeling deeply and am capable of having mature emotions, I don't care to see or understand the choice in front of me because I'm so used to doing the same thing that I've always done, chose the Emperor in reverse. And so if I always was in this state of low self-confidence, that's my first knee-jerk reaction. I don't have a choice in this energy. Although the choice is always there. If I don't see it, how could it be a choice? I can't choose it because I don't see it. So you might think this person is choosing to not talk about their emotions. You know, like you might think it's that black and white. Like this person feels a certain way, they're just not choosing to talk to me about it. No, this person is sort of technically not choosing it, but it's not even a choice. They're in sleep mode. It's almost like me telling you, think of your dream, your last dream you had. And now I say, why didn't you, you know, go and turn around and walk out that door or go outside? It's like you had no control. You know, if you said to me, oh, I was, I don't know, in some maze in my dream. And I say, okay, well, why didn't you just make the maze disappear? Because you knew it was a dream. Like, just say, okay, this is the way through. Like, just do that. Just do that. It's like, what? Like, the dream had you. The dream had you in it. The maze was playing you. You weren't playing the maze. That's the same analogy for this person and how they're engaged with you right now. Their ego has them. The self that needs to die away and be released has them. Their dark shadow has them. And so this doesn't mean all of the sudden they're released from the dark shadow and now they're in light. It just means when the light of awareness, when this person sees for the first time from a removed aspect themselves, which is this spiritual shift or transformation, then the choice becomes apparent. Then they can choose, do I want to understand and communicate my emotions and go down the light path? Or do I want to choose to be removed or mean in this moment? It's up to me. But now it's a choice. And I think you might think that this person is choosing that already, and they don't see that in front of them yet because they haven't shed the thing that's keeping them in the dream. Okay, and most people will say, of course I want to be in the light and express how I feel. Most people, not all people though. And because the choice here is one that we still have to choose with our divine will. You know, but we don't have divine will and choice if we don't see it in front of us. They don't see it, they don't understand it. And so they're not there yet. And so maybe you think that there's something this person is keeping from you, specifically when it comes to what they want, you know, like in this connection, or expressing emotions in a balanced way to you, or a long-term vision of a future thing. You know, like, what's the plan here? What do you want? You know, they're lying to you in some way here, and you feel it. It's like they're deceiving me. But what is the deception? The deception here is I'm so in the dream state, in the ego, in the trauma, in the me that I think I am, that I don't even see that I have a choice to express myself when it comes to how I feel about you. And so all you see me is pretending or playing that part. You know, you see me in the dream, in the maze, and you're saying, hey, that's not even a maze. Like, just, there's the exit. Why do you keep, you know, doing this? Because they don't see it. And so they're doing these repeats here, repeats. When do they get out of this? I don't know. When they have an aha moment and they release this, you know, they have to reprogram themselves, and it's impacting the heart space here because it's tied very deep with the emotions, the emotional body here. You know, how we give love, how we give and receive love, how we show up in an intimate connection of love. This person is blocked off here. And so I feel like this person has to come into aligning with themselves, with this unification, so that you can work with this person when they show up in some way here. And it takes like this breakthrough. And so I feel like the smell here with that sulfur is the experience you're having with this person. And so when we come from this understanding, we now have compassion. I wouldn't yell at someone who's in a dream state, or maybe you're not yelling, but have the understanding of this person's letting me down, or this person's deceiving me by keeping from me hidden secrets. No, they're just in dream state. You almost laugh at it, you know? And I know it's hurtful for you because it doesn't feel good, so I'm not laughing at you. But when you come from this angle, there's a lot of healing that could be done in this way for you. Healing for you. You know, like it's a matter of time before this person sees with this lightning here. And then the transformation, you know, with the 13 and here, the death, to see the truth. But they have to see that truth. They can't be forced. Just like in a dream, it has to sort of happen. And it could be very spontaneous here, you know, and then it's like, oh, now it's a complete 180 here. Now they see the light. But again, seeing the light doesn't necessarily mean choosing the light, but that's the differentiator, I guess, that we need to know, is that maybe you think that this person was choosing this in some way, that they have more control, that they're so consciously aware, you know. And it's like, no, this is how they've always sort of been, and so this is the automatic thing, and so this is the dream state, and this is what I'm keep reliving, and so the false self is running the show, and so I'm not in line with my true feelings. I don't communicate or express it to you. It's not on the surface. I can't harmonize with you, and you're thinking, man, this person's just not wanting to see it or go there. No, it's not about the want, you know. And so once they see the light, then the choice is like, then they can choose to harmonize or not. Then it would be more of a deceptive 7 swords if they're choosing, you know, the path of just not wanting to give to you for whatever reason. But it's not a not want to give to you. It's I don't even know that I can be anything other than this reverse emperor, because that's all that I recognize myself to be. It's hurtful. Because I feel like there's feeling used in the dark, abused in the shadow of someone else, and seeing the light. And it's frustrating because there's those two worlds. Let's see, Spirit. So this person isn't telling you exactly what's going on inside of them because they can't even tell themselves, you know? Can we take a look then? Like, what does this person then feel? Because I feel like whatever they're showing you is certainly the opposite or blocked here, you know? Spirit, what does pile number 3 need to know then about this person with their feelings here? Can we get a peek into that and shed some light into this? Thank you so much, Spirit. This person's hurt with the 3 swords. Chariot in reverse. Queen of Cups in reverse. And the Moon. And the 2 swords. So, I'm hurt, whether it was in this connection or in the past, whatever, this pain of my heart that I carry, which I feel has been there before your time, is what I feel. Doesn't have to be a relationship that, you know, that I was in, that the person left or broke my heart, but my pain exists in my heart space. It's causing blockage. It's not allowing me to receive and give love. My heart is blocked. My emotions are blocked because of this pain, this trauma I've experienced. And so I can't move forward until I integrate parts of myself into the light so that I can move forward. With the Chariot, the two, I could choose the darkness or the light. You know, I could find harmony and balance between the two when I integrate the shadow, but then I'm awake and aware. How do I want to have victory and move forward? Otherwise, the Chariot is either stuck because I keep perpetuating the same state that I'm in because of the block, or the Chariot is just reckless in one direction and being ran by my trauma. Again, the dream state, I'm in the maze and I don't recognize. But in reality, like the real world here of choice, you know, being actually awakened to my choice, can't happen until I integrate that part of self. And that part is heavy in the subconscious. And so the fear is driving the agenda right now. Okay, I don't even feel this person has an agenda so much. The fear is driving my body. The fear is driving my actions. The fear is driving my mouth. The fear is driving how I'm being presented to you. So, for a lot of you guys, this person is stuck in some place, you know, that feels very Two Swords. They haven't talked to me or chose me or give clarity to me. Like, there's Two Swords. And Spirit's showing, yeah, because they're still sitting with the sleepy self here. The untruth. The pain self. The pain body. You know? And so to get out of this takes courage, because we'll have to sit with the fear or with the subconscious to even be aware of it. But I don't think this person is like actively choosing anything, if I got to be honest with you. They're not choosing to stay Two Swords with you. They are Two Swords with you. You know? Because this pain has to be resolved. And to resolve with the pain, we have to face fears in which I don't think this person says, "Ooh, there's so much fear there that I'd rather not." But it's like I could feel the fear, and so I'm just staying away from it subconsciously. Like I just instinctually, like the dream, you know? I don't actively choose. No, not today. I won't look at this heartache. No, I'm going to keep my heart closed here because I don't want to express how I feel, because I don't want to be hurt. It just happens like in the dream. I just stay stuck in this maze. There's just too much pain here that's been over time, you know, that created this block, this fear, this thing. And so now I'm just acting in that dream state. And eventually the 10 Wands. I can't no more. The heavy burden I carry in my heart. You know, one wind blow too many and everything falls. And then I have no choice but to look at it. And so this connection here is allowing this person to break free so they can reprogram their soul and heal their heart space here by actually releasing the trauma, you know, so they could come together and integrate shadows and then be at the helm of, do I want to choose the light or the dark? Do I want to move forward and have a future with pile 3 or not? It's up to me, but I don't see that right now. And I feel this person would want this only because I feel we saw the King of Cups and the Queen of Cups and the 2 Cups. So I feel this person feels like you're their other half. I feel like this person has deep, deep love for you. I feel like this person is incapable of being emotionally available to you for whatever reason. That is not a choice actively that they're making in the conscious awareness. And that the transformation happens. And like when we read with this card, the experience smells until it doesn't. There is darkness until there's light. There's heartache until there's not. And so you don't need to suffer, you know, alongside this person. Although I know if you want them free from this dream, but then that means you're also in a dream. thinking that their dream is real. But when you have a higher state of awareness and consciousness, you just say, oh, this person is still tied to body, you know, that they really believe that this is happening within them in some way, so they're keeping it alive. And I'm doing the same thing by being sad about their state. You don't need to be sad about their state. You're a beautiful divine being here that's loved by this person. They're just not showing you in the 3D, but you're not the 3D body. And so this is when we learn about the oneness, you know, and the oneness is I could connect behind the trauma and the dream state as the person who's having the dream. And when I wake up from the dream, I don't feel sad and cry about, you know, oh, the bear almost ate me. I was lost in that maze and I still feel like I couldn't get out. Sometimes it rocks our foundation, but we don't think it's true. Right? We wake up from the dream. I'm like, oh, like, fuck, that felt real. But I'm not that. That's exactly how awakening is. It's like, oh, this person's state of being, like, it seems so real, but it's not that. It's not. This is their dream, not your dream. You're awake. You know what I'm saying? You're awake. You see through this person. And so let this person figure out their dream and integrate their shadow when their fear comes, because the wand is going to tumble and this person's going to have no choice but to face their fear, to reprogram something about themselves here and release certain things about themselves that are keeping them in dream perpetual state and be reborn so they can heal. And right now they're guarded or protecting. So you can't do anything about this if they're defensive and protecting that piece of self. But look, it's cracking, you know, 10 wands, it's cracking. They're being reborn. You know, we wouldn't see the death card, the transformation card in reverse. It's in process, but they're resisting or they're delaying or they're, you know, but it's there. The transformation is there. One way or another, they can't sustain it as long as they might think they can. They have to deal with the 3 swords. Because eventually you wake up from a dream. You don't keep dreaming, then you're sort of in a different state, right? Transformation, the death card, release. It's coming. They have to wake up eventually, you know? They have to integrate the pain eventually. And like I said, the choice then becomes theirs, because that doesn't mean automatically they're, you know, going to choose you in some way. But now it becomes clear that they can choose you. And I think this person wants to, but they don't see that light. They don't see it as a choice in front of them. So they keep choosing. They keep staying in the dark maze, thinking that that's a choice that they're making, you know, or you think it's a choice they're making. They think they're in control. Because in the dream, we really think we're in control. Yeah, I'm going to go left. Yeah, I'm going to go right. I'm the one in control, you know, in this maze. So I feel empowered. I'm getting out of this maze, or I'm doing this, or I'm avoiding, or I'm doing, like, I'm in control. But meanwhile, it's like, no, the subconscious is running the show. The dream is actually running you. The maze is actually not even true. And so when we wake up, it's like, oh, I see the dream and I see the real world. Do I want to go back into the dream and live the maze, or do I want to choose pile number 3? I think I want to choose pile 3 because for me, it feels like that's my other half. I feel like love here that now I can lean into because I've integrated that dream as an understanding. I've released the parts that were keeping me in that fear state, you know? But they could choose back to the dream if they want, but why would they, you know? I don't know. But that's sort of what we're thinking, is that they're choosing this avoiding of telling you or expressing to you emotions because it's some sort of nefarious plan here. I'm going to just avoid because I'm choosing not to be in a relationship because I'd rather not feel, you know? But it's like, not that black and white. Yeah, subconsciously they are not wanting to go there, you know, with the feels, but it's not them being consciously aware that they're doing this thing that's perpetuating the pain deep down within that needs to get looked at and cracked open. And then they could be honest and move from the 2 swords, out of the 2 swords. Yeah, look, repeat, and then 7 swords again. So I stay in that deceptive energy of self-sabotage that's hurting you, but it hurts me in the long run, you know? So, beautiful angels, I know this was a weird reading. All these readings are a little bit out there, but I hope it made sense, and I love you very much. I'll see you at the next one. Bye-bye. Hello, blessed angels, pile number 4. You guys picked the Radiant Tarot. I think I got 2 and 3 sort of flipped. In case you wander off over there, I don't know what happened, but you guys are pile 4, and we're looking at person on your mind, person you came here about, and what it is that this person has not yet been able to communicate to you through way of expression. So maybe they haven't confirmed or validated or done whatever there, is something here that maybe intuitively that is more in line with their authenticity. Or maybe it is about expressing and communicating in words something here, but it could come through in either which way, that their energy is not matching maybe what's going on in their action or in their words or what have you, okay? And I don't feel this is because someone here is, maliciously trying to withhold information or be deceptive and create lies, so much as it is, I don't fully understand what's going on in my subconscious that's making me act or do or say what I'm doing, or do or act or not do and not act and not say what I'm doing. I don't know. And so therefore I perpetuate it, or I'm in that state. And so we're looking at the truth here, the subconscious, that if this person doesn't understand it, of course they're not going to be able to, communicate or act in truth or reflect truth to you. And so our intuition knows when something feels true and when something does not. And it doesn't rely on any sort of logic. It knows the truth. So maybe you feel something here with this person, that is truthful, and what you experience is the lie. Okay, I say lie with air quotes, the opposite or the avoidance or whatever. So let's see, Spirit, clear and concise message for the greatest and highest good of pile number 4. What is it that pile 4's person has not yet been able to communicate or express to pile 4 in this connection? Clear and concise message for the greatest and highest good. Please protect me and the viewer as I channel this message for the greatest and highest good. Pile 4 and this person that they came here about. Thank you so much, Spirit. Now, this could be your own energy. Okay? Your own energy. So that's sometimes what pulls through. And these readings have been very sort of esoteric, if you will, very layered. So just try to lean in with your heart and your intuition and your knowing rather than your mind. Okay? Oops, one card went flying. And it is the 10 swords. It landed just like that. Okay. So, I have the King of Swords. Gemini, Libra, Aquarius energy. Let's pull some of the oracles as well. So, we have the Tower, the Page of Wands in reverse, and the 10 swords reveal itself initially. So, that could be something that is in the subconscious, something that's falling apart or some sudden revelation of something. But the Page of Wands is all about exploring something or communicating or the beginning of some sort of inspiration. It's the Lion there, which could be the courage to face something, potentially. And the Lion is Leo energy. Spirit, can we please get some more here for pile 4 and what it is that this pile 4's person has not yet been able to express or share with pile 4. Clear and concise message for the greatest and highest good. Can we take a look as to what it is and why it is? Thank you, Spirit. And one of these. And we have the Moon. Feel one more. And see the Moon here. So the Moon is subconscious, which has been pulled through pretty much all the readings today. Divine Feminine energy, emotions, fear. All right, so Moon, subconscious. And we have separation. We have 10 swords. Separation. Okay. And we have Jupiter, Pluto, card 949. I was going to say 1949, and 5-5 with Chiron. Oh my goodness, we're going to read in the book because It gives brief definitions that will help us to channel. And 5-5 is a master number. Okay, it's change is the only constant, divinely orchestrated change, such as a tower moment. Something that's orchestrated by the divine in order to generate change. Okay, because change is the transient energy of the universe. So, Jupiter, Pluto, in its primitive state, you are imbued with an unreasonable sense of power. You have no regard for ordinary people's experiences or desires. In its adaptive state, you use your entitled position to uplift the powerless and bring help to the downtrodden. Can't even say that word. Evolving. As a leader of integrity, your power is used in partnership. You strive to ensure that all people impacted by a problem have interest and agency in the resolution. Interesting. Okay, let's read the Chiron, which is 55. And it says, in the primitive, you feel like you are damaged goods. In the adaptive state, you use your brokenness to connect with others and support each other in healing. In its evolving state, you are a beacon of hope for others because you model post-traumatic growth. Holy guacamole. And then we have 1010, divine creativity, receiving cosmic intelligence. Oh my goodness, I don't think I've ever seen this card. Receiving cosmic intelligence. That's beauty. Look beautiful. Look at the butterflies. We have this sort of spirally thing here. Rainbows, all about changing perspective. Pisces energy. Scorpio with the butterflies. Okay, let's see what we have. So we have the moon coming out again. And the bat. And we have 9 cups. And the 2 doves. And we have 3 cups. And we have 6 cups in reverse. Okay. Underneath we have the Empress. Look at that. Wow. Libra, Taurus with the bunny. Fertility. It's under Empress. Divine Feminine. Divine Feminine. Divine Feminine. 4 of Wands in reverse. So the 4 of Wands is my 1111 card, which could signify twin flame. If you believe you are on some sort of soul journey like this, this is confirmation. Okay, it is in reverse. 10 swords, separation. What does this mean? Beautiful people. I think there's a separation here from you and someone that you came here about. Okay, and so I got to dive into the deepness of this whole thing. And I'm sorry for those of you guys who have a hard time sort of, you know, tapping into more spiritual concepts. I'll try to make it more practical here, or tie it into the practical so everyone sort of understands. Okay, but there is no such thing as separation. And so what this means is that when we are feeling separation, this means that we're identifying and connecting that we are this body, living this body experience. And this is the only reason why we're so ingrained with the world the way we are, that when someone leaves or when there's an ending, we feel separate from that person. There's something deeper within in the subconscious here that understands, you know, the reality. And the reality is that we are all connected. And so I feel like this is pulling through here in order for you to change your perspective about how you connect in the world at large. That's going to be shifted once we shift our perspective and open up to the divine, instead of engaging maybe the way that we generally engage, which is very much in the world. You know, that person leaves, they're separate from me. I'm not with them, we're separate. Okay, I feel like, yes, there's a 3D separation here with this person. And I am getting from your person's point of view as well what's coming through here, which I'll, you know, that's an easy, you know, reconciliation. Will they come back and all that? Yes. But this is more the messaging, is that we need to heal the root of what's going on here within the self. Okay? And so the self is going to perpetuate an experience on earth, you yourself, unless you change your energy. Okay, and the only reason why you would want to change your energy is because you don't want to experience pain and separation when things that are transient happen. And transient is, I am born, I die. I'm in a relationship, and this person leaves. We have good times, and then we have bad times. It's transient. So anything that's transient like this isn't real. And so you say, well, I'm real. Look, here's my body, and I'm born. It's like, you can exist in the transient world, but the truth is the energy behind that. That is ever changing. That is something that cannot die. Your eternal self, your infinite self. That's the truth. That's the reality. Everything else that's temporary, that comes and goes and comes and goes, some of it's long, some of it's short, just like yesterday and the day before that and last year. Transient. Doesn't exist anymore. But what's still there? What's still consistent? Your energy. That's the reality. That's the truth. And so unless you connect with that energy of the real you awareness, not what the body's doing today, not the chewing of the gum, the drinking of the drink, the pooping in the toilet, those are all activities that the body is doing. So where do you draw the line? Is what is the body engaged with? The body is engaged with a relationship. Just like pooping in the toilet. I'll use a different analogy because we might not want to talk about that stuff. Okay, just like drinking a drink. And I know you say, well, a relationship is completely different than drinking a drink. Well, no, it's still a transient thing happening to the body. So we can't identify with the relationship as much as we would identify with drinking the drink. And so either you identify with the transient, I'm really drinking the drink, I'm really in the relationship, I'm really, okay, and if you really believe you are in that sort of experience, it's okay, go ahead. But then you're tied to that transient experience, and when that experience disappears, as it always does because it's transient, remember what I said, it's not consistently there, then we suffer, then we feel separate. And what the divine is trying to teach you is to transform this energy of knowing what is truly there consistently. This person is consistently there. Their being is also there. How do you tie into that person's being without being attached to the body and what's physically happening? That's what we're trying to connect you to. Okay, and so if we stay in the mind story and the state of trying to conceptually understand with the body and with the understanding of the mind, then we haven't really transformed or learned or understood what the divine's trying to feed us in a way of cosmic intelligence, which is we are all one. And so I think there's a lot of fear in, this person not being in your world, and the body's experiencing a situation with this person that isn't pleasant. And so we want to heal, and we're working our way through. And Spirit is saying, you're already at peace with this person. There's already harmony here in the energetic body. Okay, when we go past the stuff that's transient, the body, I live, I die, and those things and experiences, they come, they go, doesn't matter. We don't attach to those things. It's difficult to do because if we're really identified and we really are like attached to that person, that's what we're trying to transform and shift out of. Because I assure you, once you see that, then you can feel love with this person on a different way and a different level. But it's equally going to be at first something here that equal might not be the right word, but it's an energy here that I feel, unless you experience it, don't poo-poo it. Don't think it's not going to fulfill you, because it's more fulfilling than that in which you were actually seeking, which is this person in the physical being there or doing this, or the experience. The experience can never outshine the reality of the truth. Okay, I know I lost half my subscribers with today's readings, but this is the messaging, okay? And I hope we're all sort of still connecting to this on an intuitive level. When I connect energetically, spiritually to this place, then I feel what it is the divine's trying to show me. And then I can transform how I see things and how I engage in my world from this angle now. because this is what's healing and fulfilling, not whether the person is here or not. Because if I still live by those means, then I'm attached to the body, I'm attached to transient things, I'm still in my egoic self, I will experience suffering, and I will be at the mercy of what comes and goes, what comes and goes. Feeling pain, feeling the pendulum of the ego. I desire and I keep seeking and chasing, and I'm never fulfilled. I keep trying to drink from the same well, and I'm never fulfilling that thirst. And I keep resisting the things I don't want. I don't want to be separate. I don't want, I don't want this, or I reject that. I don't like this. And so the ego seeks desire, and it blocks out, and it rejects anything here that it's adverse to. But when we're in this state, we're very centered. And so we don't need to chase and seek and have the ego drive. And we don't need to avoid and block and suppress and deny and say, I don't like this or that. It doesn't give me any sort of pull. I'm centered in the middle. I'm not swinging on the pendulum of the ego. And what this does is create peace. But not only is it creating peace, it's not a fantasy state. It's actually grounded in reality of the universe. What's real, not the transient. And that's what gives it the peace and the stability. I'm never peaceful when I got to keep attaching myself to something that can never fulfill me. That's why the egoic hamster wheel is never fulfilling. That's why it doesn't matter how many cars I have, whether I'm, I don't know, the owner of that business, then I want to own more businesses, how much money I have, I always want more money. Doesn't matter how, the relationship, I'll always want more from this person, or more happiness, or more recognition, or that's ego. The ego wants more. It's always seeking. It's never sustained. I might be happy for 2 minutes. I get the Lamborghini, I get in it, I feel on top of the world, and then suddenly I'm back down because I'm attaching to the 3D thing. And so ego is there, and we're trying to tap into what's real, and the energy behind what's transient and what comes and goes. And so this person being in your world is coming and going, and right now I feel like they've gone. Okay, and they've gone for you to go through this. And if you don't go through this and you just cling back to this person, you're going to constantly be in this state. So we're learning how to deal with separation, consciousness, and know that we aren't separate, because we can feel and go beyond this. And so once we healed this thing from the subconscious, and we've freed that, we no longer fear this person going or whatever, because we know a greater truth. So we find emotional 9 cups. And when you're in emotional 9 cups on your own, then you're healed in a way that allows you to work with other people. So this person, they're going to want reconciliation with you, And I feel like this person is dealing with some sort of trauma as well. And I picked up from this, could even be post-traumatic stress. Okay? Very intense. But I feel like you have something from your childhood that's stuck. And the childhood thing here is certainly this, like thinking we're, our happiness is driven by what's in our world and who's in it. And it's not. Here are the 2 doves together. Here are the 2 doves flying apart. Look at that. And so this is really giving to me, which way are we looking, the perspective again. Because I think the way you're looking at things, or seeing things, or engaged with things, or your understanding of things is looking the opposite way. That person's there and I'm in here. I'm sad when I'm away from them, and I'm happy when I'm with them. Like you're looking in that sort of realm. And Spirit's saying, no, look in the other realm. Even if it doesn't seem real to you, or you don't understand it just yet, look in the realm here of me and this person are energy that exists beyond the body. Yes, I know this. Okay, so this is more for the mind, because the mind wants to conceptualize it so it understands it. But it doesn't need to understand. But I feel like your mind is trying to understand it so it could transform. And so it could grasp these concepts, but it doesn't really understand spiritual concepts so much, because the mind is such a small little part of the body. The rest of us, the energy of us, our heart space, our intuition, working with the divine, that's all an inner knowing. That comes through us, it flows through us. And so that's where we're looking the other way, not opposite. And so when we look this way and say, this is me and my eternal light that could never be tainted or lonely or separate, it can't. You're not separate. And so when we tap into that place, and we might get glimpses of it, but the more we're in that, the more we start to embody and see things from that perspective, it will come to you. And so I feel like the universe wants to put you in a 9 cups energy sort of permanently here. It doesn't matter what's coming or going. I want you to be happy here. And so we're really doing this subconscious work. The stuff that's stuck here. The memory of something that keeps us stuck. And so I feel this is being mirrored to your person. And I feel like when we can shed that illusion that we are separate, that when we're apart it hurts, and that I'm lonely when I'm not in a relationship, and that whole thing that we believe strongly, when we are identified as that, when that crumbles down, then we can move forward and explore connection completely differently. But I feel like we need to deal with the ending in a different way here, by seeing it differently, involving in that ourself in a different way energetically with this ending, because I feel like we're seeing it from one perspective, how this ending happened, or maybe we're going over it mentally only, but that's only one sort of area. And so there's another area within self of connecting with our energy, the light of the divine, the being that knows it always exists, and not the mind. Okay, and so I feel like your person, is also transforming, and I feel like they need to heal. I feel like there's healing on both your ends. And so your journey of this sort of ascended view of how you deal with your subconscious and your emotions and finding happiness within self, so you could find happiness here, is solely dependent on how you drive this. And then your person is able to deal with their own sort of traumas here, because I feel like your person already sees you as a beautiful empress. Okay, but I feel like your lesson is being in a full empress energy, because this is divine feminine coming into her full self, and a divine feminine who's completely sort of ascended understands this concept. She doesn't feel alone, separate, sad when she's in separation. She feels like she can see past the 3D illusion. She feels whole and complete, and she's capable of engaging in the experience from a more elevated perspective. It's more calm, it's more grounded. It's not seeking and chasing and desire, and it's not avoiding, blocking, denying, suppressing. It's very centered in reality, because she knows the truth of the divine that's flowing through her, that's calling the shots and the actions. It's not tainted and hurts and the veil of separation here. So your person is going through transformation and understanding. And I feel like what hasn't been communicated is the fact that this person's transformation and healing can't be reflected to you when you're blind to see it. And the reason you're blind to see it is because you need to sort of go through this graduation, if you will, of spiritual oneness, of perception, of transformation, before we can see this person in all their beauty. Because I think how you're seeing them right now is in the transient body energy, and you can't help it, because that's how you're seeing yourself, and this is how you engage with this person. So you can't get beyond that. When I see this person as a person, you might feel their spirit, and you might be pulled to their potential, and you might have a spiritual connection and telepathy and all that. I'm not saying that's not happening. This is a deep, deep, deep connection for sure. But how you're engaged with them and how you're seeing your situation is very from a 3D perspective. When they're with me, they're with me. And when they're not with me, they're not with me. And then we're separate. It's like, no. Okay? So you might conceptually know this, and you might say, well, no, I get it, yeah, we're energetically, because I could feel them. But it's like, yeah, but is there any feeling of sadness, or like you're alone, or you want them in your physical presence? Because if there's any remnants of that, that means you're still not in unity consciousness, which means you're still not seeing the purest way here. You're still perceiving there to be a separate you and a separate them. You're still looking in that direction. Because once we totally feel at one with this person, whether they're here, there, on Pluto, on Mars, 10 feet under, it doesn't matter, because I still have my 9 cups. Or the 9 cups feeling still embodies me. And it doesn't mean I'm in denial. I see that they're not here, but I still have my 9 cups. I'm still emotionally fulfilled. And so now things crack open. Now this person comes in the physical. And so now we can have the physical and the spiritual happening in congruency. But Spirit wants you to see this spiritual side of 9 cups for you to get here. And so this person's kind of used as this experiment, or this pawn, or this experience, and not to hurt you, but to awaken you, to get you out of this subconscious thing that's been trapped for a long time here, and keeping you stuck when it comes to relationship, to share, to give, to really come from this innocent heart place. Look at all these cups, lots of love here. So we're learning about love in a way here that transcends the body. I'm emotionally fulfilled, whether my person's here or not. What they say or do, doesn't matter. And now that I'm there truly organically, not just convincing myself or telling myself, I could feel this from the depths of me. The illusion falls, and now we can explore this. And now my person comes courageously wanting to engage here. They're not in their trauma and their childhood thing and their PTSD and whatever else they had here. Because with this one is really, I'm leading by example, by my way of healing, by seeing deeper than this 3D body and this experience. Can I really rise above this and create shift in the energy? Receiving cosmic intelligence. So this is really being open to the divine's perspective of the energy, not to the 3D body mind energy. Okay. 4 wands in reverse. Yeah, so we can't build the thing, or at least it fell apart. I feel like there was a together, now there's a separation. And Spirit's saying we could still build the thing here, like your person, I feel, is coming here with the wand, wanting to do this, having the courage to do this, to explore the green grass. And right now they're on the other side here of the separation, kind of on hold by the universe, not by their own accord. I feel like it's their own universe until the tumbling of the tower falls, which is your identification with how you engage with relationship, body connection, rather than energetic oneness and knowingness, spiritual, graduation here. So which way are we looking? Because one perpetuates the separation, and when we look the other way, even if we're not together in the 3D, if we look the other way, then we see the togetherness, because we know it's always there and it's always been there. We were looking at the illusion. We were putting more energy towards what wasn't rather than what is. And transient energy isn't real, because it comes and goes just like yesterday. What's real is your ever eternal light of God, and your person has this. Okay, so beautiful angels, I love you very much. Does your person love you? Yes. What's not expressed here is this person's ability to be engaged with you in a way here that you haven't experienced yet, because you're going through this thing that needs to be expressed and come out, So I hope this helped. You can go check out another pile if you want. I love you guys very much. Be blessed, and I will see you at the next one. Bye-bye.